This video is, I would say the great Leonardo Da Vinci. You know, I'm reading a good book about him, and he caught my attention very, very quickly. You know, of course, I've been looking into all type of people like Einstein and the geniuses, the greats, right? But he was one of those people that he's considered the great of the great, the king of all kings. And you know, to go into his list of accomplishments would be endless. I saw a study that said it would take like 13 scrolls, or no, 30 something scrolls, like the old written scrolls, to list all his accomplishments in botany, you know, chemistry. He didn't believe in astrology, but he believed in astronomy, right? But his biology, anatomy, his breakthroughs in science with physics. You know, he drew helicopters. He was one of those people that was way beyond his time, and he did it musically, artistically. You know, here I go, I'm blowing myself away, because I'm like, I forgot about his artings, his paintings. And you know, a few takeaways from Leonardo da Vinci is one, he recommends you utilize all 5 of your senses at all given times. He said in his writings, we live in a world where people touch without feeling, right? Seeing without actually taking it in, eat without tasting, you know, hearing without listening, and I forget smelling without actually taking in the fragrance of what's going on. And so, you know, he said that, you know, if you utilize all 5 of your senses, that's how you can live a more enriched life. That's how you can, you know, feel a more vibrant life. So he was one of those guys that, you know, he wore silk and silk, suede, and velvet all day because he liked to feel. He lit candles and incense all day because, you know, it aroused his smell, right? He had a little, he was one of those wine and cheese connoisseurs because he loved the mixture of taste, right? He wanted to, like, every time he did a painting, he would have some scents lit. He would have some music playing, someone, you know, playing some music. He would take different perspectives, which is the second takeaway from this video. He would, you know, physically, like, be covered in strategically silks in certain places and velvets in other places, so that he could really utilize all 5 of his senses and dive into what he was doing and be in the moment. Because have you noticed, when you're in fear or when you're living in the moment, your senses get heightened, you can feel everything, you're more aware of what's going on. That's living in the moment. And he recommended that you do that at all times. The second takeaway, like I just kind of touched, is perspective. He was one of those guys that felt like, you know, he always wanted the truth, and to him, the reality is, the truth is your perspective. And so there's multiple realities, there's multiple truths. And so when he painted, when he, you know, created his pieces of music, he got different perspectives. There was always, you know, he wanted to see it from afar. He wanted to see it up close. He wanted to see things through mirrors. When he did a few paintings, people thought he was crazy. He actually painted them through a mirror so he could see them, so he could get that different perspective. He liked, you know, painting downwards, like getting like a bird's eye view, but not bird's eye, I forget the name of it, but like that was his thing. And so he felt that was one of his ways to find the truth, to find reality. And that's where, like, you know, you got to ask questions. Questions create your perception, your reality. And so he was one of those ones that before, you know, NLP, or clearly NLP, but before any scientific breakthroughs or understandings, that you create your, you know, your what is it, your physiology, which affects your inside, which is what you deliver. He already knew that. He already understood principles and concepts like that, and he was taking advantage of them, and had thousands of writings to suggest you do the same. And so the 2 takeaways is, you always want to have multiple perspectives in every situation that you have, you know, whether it's, you know, artistically or scientifically. That's just how you want to look at things. The second thing is, you want to utilize all of your senses, and, you know, you'll live a more enriched life. You'll be more in the moment, and you know, which actually raises your consciousness. And there's a whole thought process on that. There's a whole lesson or a course on that I guess I might create soon. But I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm thinking about who that's going to be.